Welcome, everyone, to the Patrick Carr Show. What is it, Thursday today?
Yeah, Thursday.
It's already Thursday, man. Thursday, everybody, after well, there we go. Now we're live. Thursday, everybody, after it's been like a short week. You come back from Memorial Day, and now we've got this short week right here. So it always feels nice when you be able to, well, if I guess for most people, I end up just working the entire time. So I'll be working this next weekend. I wish I could say I was just taking the time off, but that is just not the case. You want to move this one down a little bit? I'm just worried about just headroom on that mic directly right there. Hey, now we're looking good. Okay, there we go. Now we're looking nice. Let's move this up a little bit. All right. How much do you use the vertical one? Do you use the vertical one at all?
Honestly, I just download the whole thing or the full one and just cut it up.
Yeah, but I don't know, like the vertical piece of content that we do. Like, do you use it like the vertical view, or do you use mostly the 16:9?
16:9 and just pop in.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. We got a great show here for you today. Anthony behind the camera, per normal. And we've got 5 great stories that'll make you hopefully the smartest person in the office or give you something great to talk about as we head into the Friday. And tomorrow we're going to have a very special guest in the show, and looking forward to bringing that one to you. I'll even try to go live on that one, but as well, we'll be, of course, cutting that up and showing you a great podcast with somebody that knows a lot about what's been going on in downtown Orlando. So many of you have joined us lately on Instagram and on LinkedIn and on Facebook, and we appreciate each and every person who joins the show to hear what's going on. We try to bring you stuff that not only is in the news, but it's going to be entertaining for you as well. You can hear about news anywhere. Go to Fox News, MSNBC, go to the New York Times. The stuff that we try to bring you here, we try to do it with some energy, all right? But then also, like I said, it's stuff that you're not going to be hearing anywhere else. I want to dive into our first story today, everybody, because it's an interesting one. In a world where seemingly everybody 10 years ago was talking about dating apps, would you be surprised to know that wealthy men are ditching them forever and choosing to go with human matchmakers? That's right. The numbers just dropped, and rich or otherwise successful men are hiring human matchmakers, up 58% in just 1 year, while dating apps are continuing to crash as people walk away from them. Now, here's why it matters, everybody. They're not just pitching matchmakers based on looks or the vibe of that individual. They're picking them almost like a business partner, looking for somebody that's going to help them with their network, build their life, be accountable. And I think that they're also looking for the privacy side of this thing. So many times when you join into these dating apps, what's happening for men that are wealthy is that they're being introduced to thousands of people out there they don't want to be introduced to, because their face and their profile is being put in front of so many people. And so what we're seeing is that in the modern dating world, the old system is broken, in that these people, what they're saying is, I value my time and I value more in my partner than just the way they look and where we can go the next Friday night together. I think this is a trend that is going to continue because of AI. Let me explain. People are looking for a human connection now more than ever. In their business, people actually want to talk to a real person. In their personal life, it's no different. Anthony, I believe, and I know you're not a single man out there, but I believe that what's happening is that people feel so disconnected from one another. Even in the attempt to find another person, they want to feel connected to the process of it. We're human beings and we're meant to interact with people. It's not a surprise to me that somebody who's a little bit more wealthy is willing to pay more in order to have somebody understand who they are and then try to find a partner for that individual. Very interesting here.
Yeah, definitely agree. And I feel like there was, when dating apps first came out, it was a new thing. It was great, but now it's just become kind of just you have a abundance of just all these random people, weird people, and they're just not what it used to be, I feel like. And people are not liking how it is now than it was before. And it's different having like a human interaction and actually meeting someone at a bar, meeting someone from friends. it's actually more organic and feels more real. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Here's the point that I think people are missing about why they're turning. Well, let me say this way. Here's the point that I think people are missing about why wealthy men are turning to matchmakers instead of over to dating apps. Here's what it is. When you go on to a dating app, there is no accountability to the app to find you a match. In fact, they have every incentive not to find you a match. If they did, they'd put themselves out of business. While a matchmaker actually does have incentive because they have accountability to you. If they do a good job, you actually go, hey, to your single friend, you need to go with this person over here. On one side, you have something that's designed to keep you there forever, to keep that, what do they call it? The dopamine hit coming for you. And on the other side, you have somebody that has incentive to move you out of being single and move you into something that could actually help you, your life, find you somebody that's going to add value to who you are as an individual, to help you through. I mean, we all just want to have a companion in life, I feel like. And I believe that there's value in that right there. People don't understand that dating apps out there, when they were created, it was a nice thing. It was a thought. But then it became the way that somebody finds another person. We've lost track of that feeling of having to go up to somebody and actually have a conversation. For a lot of men out there who are especially in Gen Z, you've never had to have that awkward conversation at the bar where you walk up to the gal and you're like, you know what? And you start having that kind of, you get turned down. And there's something to be said about that, which dating apps have completely taken that away. And while I understand that a matchmaker has not going to stop that, there is a little bit of that, I'm relying on somebody else to bring me together. And there still is that I'm not sure if we're going to be interested in one another right now, rather than swipe. Okay, I'm interested, you're interested. And there's no real opportunity for a letdown right there because you're not really exposing yourself out there to the world and who you are.
Yeah, I like the what you said. It used to just be a new form of way to find someone, but then it just became the dominant factor, and that's when it kind of fell off and not what you want.
No, it's not what you want at all. And I say that because people need to understand that these dating apps are not designed to help them. And there's some of these people are paying $60, $80 a month for these dating apps to try to find a connection that's out there. I think we're all starving for a human connection right now. And for a lot of young men out there, they've tried to find that through online replacements or chasing the next shiny thing, and it doesn't work. And this is the next evolution for individuals who grew up. I say grew up, came into dating age as dating apps were becoming a thing. And now they look at it and go, I'm not doing that again. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of that scene. And if you do have some kind of wealth or you do have some kind of financial stability, you do feel used on those apps because you feel like somebody's looking for you to support them and they haven't done anything. If as a man, you feel that way often. And there may be women who feel that way too, that younger men are looking for someone to take care of them. It always seems, from what I can see, like a transactional relationship rather than somebody who's looking for their better half. And to me, I'm not surprised to see that 58% of wealthy or affluent men are saying, I'm done with dating apps. I'm turning to a matchmaker. That's not a big surprise to me. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this dating app world. Things like your Tinders and Match.coms and Bumbles and Hinges. Are those things even going to be able to survive? I think there might always still be a market for them. I think there's something there no matter what. But I don't think there's any argument right now that those apps have fallen off tremendously in the last 5 to 10 years. Would you agree?
Oh,
At least the popularity of them, right?
definitely.
I agree. 100% agree with you. Okay, there. Sorry, folks, we do this live, so we're just doing some stuff right here. There we go. All right, let me kind of move into the next story that I've got right here for y'all. Sorry, I'm doing work stuff came up right there as we were doing it. All right. Along those same lines, I want to talk to you today about brand loyalty because I'm going to tell you, brands are collapsing before our eyes. And the crazy thing is, they have no idea why. Let me help you out a little bit here. Loyalty cards and getting one of those things where they punch your card when you walk into a store to buy a meal are a thing of the past. Only 18% of Gen Z says that rewards programs will keep them coming back. They don't care about the gimmicks. Half of them say they will drop a brand if they feel like it feels fake. And here's the big thing. Two, there are two and a half. Let me get this. There are two and a half. Can I speak today? And get this. Gen Z, they are 2.5 times more likely to trust a random creator than a polished brand post. Meaning, when you polish a thing up too much, people look at it and go, great, just another ad that's out there. They don't want to hear your catchy jingle. They just want to hear people talking about a brand in a real, authentic way. Even if they don't know who the person is, somebody between the age like yourself of 25, let's say 23 and 35, they don't want to hear an ad. They just want to hear someone talking about a brand that looks like them and looks like a problem that they've had that the brand solves. And we don't see a lot of that at all right now. And then companies want to know why they're failing at marketing online, when they're failing at marketing on social media. It's because people are turning away from these polished brands and trying to find authenticity with something. And then when they don't find it, they're basically just bailing and jumping ship, to tell you the truth, Anthony. And they're searching for it. Like we were talking about the human touch earlier. They're searching for that in the brands that they use and that they identify with. Do you fall into that? Do you find yourself identifying with, like, do you like brands where the people seem real or that it identifies with your values? Or
No, definitely. And even kind of going back to that whole Mr. Beast thing, like I feel like his brand has definitely changed. And for me, I liked it more when he was just a smaller creator and more of a organic, and he like just felt like him. But now it just become almost like this elaborate TV show and big thing. And I don't know, I feel like his brand just fell off, or not fell off, but just more of became more corporate than what it used to be.
very interesting. Okay. I want to, by the way, I butchered these numbers. Okay. So let me just go through these so I can get them right for everybody again. Sorry about that, Anthony. Okay. I want to go through these because they are very important as we look at why brand loyalty is collapsing in America. 66% of Gen Z say loyalty is earned through the quality of the product, not the marketing. So consistently delivering a great product. 18%, that's it, say that a loyalty or a rewards program matters to them. Almost nobody, all right? They just think it's a gimmick. That entire system is dead, and yet corporate is holding on to it every single day. Half of Gen Z will drop a brand for a first time that it feels fake to them. And then the big thing, they are 2.5 times more likely to trust a brand from some random creator that feels authentic than a polished brand post. The signs are so freaking clear to businesses right now that if young people want to feel connected to the product that they are wearing or using, and they don't feel connected to that way through a commercial that was manufactured, scripted, and read off of a teleprompter. Nope. The end of that is here. Now, for an older audience, that right there could be relevant. But when I look at the study like this and businesses all over that are struggling, Anthony, we talk to a lot of them every day. They can't figure out how to get people to identify with their HVAC roofing brand that they have because they think their brand is boring. It doesn't have to do with what you're selling. It has to do with the way you're trying to relate to your customers, telling them all the benefits and all the stuff they're going to get from working with you. And we're going to do this kind of financing. And oh boy, we're family owned. Nobody cares. What people care about is you. Do they like you? Do they feel like, man, you know what? You're a guy that they would actually want to have a beer with. If you can get that kind of stuff down for men and for women, if they can feel a connection to you that, hey, you know what? This person gets me. They get my problem right now. You're going to earn that business as a company. But right now, it is so disconnected between what is going on at corporate and what is going on with young people that this gap right here is causing a lot of confusion within the market right now. Brand loyalty is collapsing, but it doesn't have to. These companies have just got to figure out how to market their products again.
And the ones that do know how to figure it out, they're succeeding like crazy. Really.
Heck yeah, they are. Man. That's why Mr. Beast did what he did, because he knows that companies are starving for people that seem authentic about their product, not some, polished actress talking about the makeup and the 30-second commercial with like the bright lights and doing that whole thing. Like, what is that like? I don't know. Or one of those shampoo commercials where like the lady's inside the shower and it's like all perfect. They'd rather see somebody in their own bathroom showing them how the thing works and then go, yeah, okay, I want to get on board with that. A good example of this is TikTok Shop. I've been on TikTok a little bit more only because I've been posting our content, and you have to keep TikTok open in order to post the content. It's the stupidest thing. I swear, TikTok, do something about this. But when I'm sitting there and so I'm waiting for it, and sometimes it'll scroll to the next video, and what do I get? I get somebody shopping TikTok Shop. Sometimes it's women, sometimes it's men. I get both for whatever reason. Some woman is on there trying to sell a dress and give a link to where you can go buy the dress on the TikTok Shop. Another guy is out there trying to sell Pokemon cards or something. You get all sorts of people trying to do this because these brands are looking for people that, I don't know, I'll look at and go, seems like they actually do like that shirt. Like they actually do like, I don't know, that Lego set that they're trying to sell right now. And even if they don't, it seems authentic to me. And I can get behind that rather than looking at the polished commercial that they normally put out. That's what I'm seeing right now.
I don't know if you ever seen those like TikTok videos of like this guy who works at like a Papa John's, and then he's like he gets like suggestions like, oh, why doesn't Papa John's do this or this? He's like, he's the one that makes the pizza, so he's like, oh, we do it better this way, and he's like showing why we do this, and it's all like pretty much just him on his phone, just showing how to make a pizza. But I'm pretty sure at this point now he's sponsored by Papa John's, but people just watch it just because it looks real. It's a dude. He's like, oh man, I want to know why Papa John's doesn't do this, or what if Papa John's did this instead of someone else. And that's honestly the best advertisement for Papa John's, instead of having to pay for millions of dollars of commercials and stuff, instead of just paying this one dude just on his phone but making these pizzas, and it feels real. And I want to watch it.
I couldn't agree for exactly the reason why Blue Collar Media Group, our company, why we changed our approach to content. 3 years ago, we were doing a polished, corporate, very high video quality video production. And we still do that. There is still a place for that within the market. But for the most clients, we've switched over into doing more organic, authentic content, asking them questions, allowing them to get real answers back, right? Rather than doing here's a script, now say these words. Because when you give someone an opportunity to actually talk about their business in a real way, to talk about the pain that they look to solve, why they started it, why they put up with the late nights, why they hired the employees so they could serve more people. All of a sudden, you get this, what I call the 20 seconds of gold from somebody, where you actually feel like, whoa, what you just said kind of resonated with me. And you feel like, even though you're talking about flooring right now, that little portion you just gave me about your history and doing it with your dad and like needing to get it just right because it needed to be perfect for you and him. Whew. Now I feel like, you know what? You might be somebody I want in my house to do the job for me. But if all we do is just get scripted stuff for people, Gen Z and the younger generation, was it Alpha after that? They ain't dealing with that. They don't want to see the scripted online stuff. They want to see real people giving real opinions. And if you're a business out there and you're not doing this, you're losing right now to businesses that are getting with the times and understanding how brand loyalty is formed with younger generations right now.
Yeah, and one thing to know too is that I know 10 years ago it used to be like, oh man, you can learn all this stuff from tutorials and stuff like that. Why aren't you doing it from YouTube and all this stuff? Now it's just, why aren't you doing this with your brand? You have all the materials now. It used to be, oh, I don't have this high quality camera, I don't have this crew, I don't have all this stuff, but you could just do it on your phone, do your content, figure it out, and just be in front of the camera, do everything that you need to do. It's all, you have it all with
You do. There are no more excuses about equipment.
Mhm.
And there's also, I mean, there's very little having to do with knowledge.
Oh yeah.
I've said this before, but it's worth saying again because it just continues to be the case here. The real reason that business owners, the real reason that individuals across the country don't create a personal or professional brand has nothing to do with knowledge or equipment and everything to do with the fear of the judgment of other people they've never met. That's it. The example we've used is about dying, and you get the end of your movie, you get the credits that roll. And the people you should care about are the first 10 people that roll on the credits, right? The main actors, the protagonist, all the people that were there, right? Those are the people you should care about. But most business owners, most people, even if they have a beautiful message and a way to say it, they're so worried about number 9,463, who is Uber driver number 3 in Austin, Texas, when you took a vacation there, and what that person thinks about them, that they're not willing to put a message out there, put their face with it, and say something. It's one of my biggest things that I've noticed when we've started creating content is we get some really awful messages. But then you know what I do? Sometimes I will click on one and I'll go to the profile. And almost 100% of the time, Anthony, it's a profile that's private, no post, nothing going on, obviously a burner account, because that person feels a level of power or thinks they have something to do or purpose by going out there and making comments with no accountability.
Mhm.
People are unwilling and businesses are unwilling to put their name behind something because they're afraid to alienate everybody. Oh no, what if that group doesn't like me over there? I'm here to tell you 50% of the people won't like you anyway, people. I mean, hell, 50% of your family probably doesn't like you anyway. All right. You think you're going to make everybody happy? Of course you're not. If you're a business and want to do something meaningful and bring something meaningful to the world that's going to change it, you will have to make people unhappy. Do you think the person who invented the tractor, that everybody who was, I don't know, working in horse stables loved it, the fact that that put them out of business? No. But the greater good of doing that outweighed a few bad opinions of somebody because you believed in something and wanted to make the world a better place. And you know, Anthony, what I would challenge a lot of people to do is I would say, if you have a message, if your business has a product, if you stand for something, then get out there and do it. Say something. Put your face in front of a camera and say, this is what I stand for because I think it's right and good. Okay, you are going to lose some people. We've lost clients because of this show. Got it. Okay. We've also gained clients because of the show. And what I can tell you is that the people that I gain by individuals who watch this are a far higher quality of client than the people that we lose. Because I know that these people, they don't mind when I get out here and I speak my mind. They know that I'm an individual and that my opinions don't always agree with your opinions, but that doesn't make me a bad person. But all these companies are locked up in the bureaucracy of, well, I don't know. That demographic is a large demographic in that one area, and we might alienate them. And therefore, could we please change the language? Because our attorneys believe that it would be Well, it would be more in on brand if we said it this way, and we'll have to put a liability at the bottom of the page or a disclaimer at the bottom of the page because we'd be liable. Oh my God, Lord, people. And you get this paralyzed by indecision. And that's what's happening to so many of these companies, Anthony. Unbelievable. Okay. So let's move on to the next story. Very interesting one here. And that has to deal with the Pope. Very unique here. Okay. The Pope just made his first major statement, everyone. And he is making a big warning against AI taking away from what makes us human. That's right. Pope Leo, in his first letter, has warned the real danger isn't that machines are getting smarter, it's us getting less human. Now, take a minute and think about that. He is the most powerful spiritual leader on the planet, whether you agree with him or not. And while everybody is talking about robots taking over, he's gone a little bit deeper with his thoughts here. And he's like, the fight that we really have here is to stay profoundly human while everything around us automates. When I think about this, there's some real truth to this because, in a way, how we write, how we consume what we write, it's becoming automated and machine-like. To give you an example, for so many of us, I write an email and then Google gives me different ways to say what I've said that are clear. And oftentimes I'll take them because it does make my email clear. But that's no longer in my voice as a human. I wouldn't have said it that way. I didn't grow up that way. It just sounds better the way the AI told me to say it. And what he's warning against here is not that AI is human, but that we are becoming more AI-like as those things that make us human, those errors and judgment of how we write an email, how we interpret something. Those things are being taken away that oftentimes make us beautifully human. And to me, that's a very profound point that goes beyond the religion that you have, but rather just humanity and how we interact with one another. Does that make sense?
No, that's really cool, interesting to look at too, because it's like we're reading Shakespeare from and like now in like 300 years from now, like our profound authors, we're gonna read these books and it's like, oh, most of it's not really gonna be written by us, or it's like maybe you have the idea but not fully. It's all gonna be automated with AI, and so again, we're losing that human interaction and human thing, which definitely very interesting too. And
What the Pope is arguing is not that machines are taking over, it's that we are surrendering to the machines.
Yep.
Like we're basically saying, hey, we're going to surrender our humanity over to you and allow you to tell us how to talk, allow you to tell us how we should receive this information. Because one person over here said this, you told them a better way to say it. Now send it over to me. My AI will tell me how I want to receive it. And now the information comes to me. Wasn't very long ago where that author just wrote directly to me the news article that I read directly from them. I never thought about it from this perspective. And it's a very interesting way that Pope Leo is coming at this. And I think it goes beyond religion and into more humanity and how humanity can be lost if we're not careful in how we interact and rely on AI. I unfortunately think it's too far gone, Anthony.
And it's only been a couple of years, and so it's already,
Yeah.
because a couple weeks ago we were looking up an article and we noticed that there was those little dashes in the article, which
Oh God, yeah.
even that was written
M
by-
dashes.
yeah.
You know my feeling about M dashes.
Mhm.
Okay. I see them all, when we read we get our print off here from Claude and everything, we have them all over the place.
Yep.
Keep on telling Claude not to do that. Believe me, I understand people. I need to go to my profile. I need to do it differently. But yeah, this is less, in my opinion, about AI is becoming human or AI is God. And the Pope is warning, in my opinion, against staying human. Or I should say, the Pope is saying that we need to stay human ourselves. Um, you know, I think sounded crazy a year ago, Anthony, but I think we are less than 12 months away from the first AI marrying a human.
I feel like there's already been one.
Um, and when, so very interesting if you can look that up, because when I think about this, I think, okay, um, does now we run into, if there's an attempt to, let me know, but does that mean that we are in a place where if you got to marry an AI, then that AI has rights within a marriage? And if they do they have rights inside of a divorce? Or what if there's a surrogate? Does an AI have a right to children? The thought of that sounds so dystopian to me, but I don't, what are your research showing you?
Yeah, there's several people
What?
that got married with AI.
How, where?
One in Japan, one in
Okay.
the Netherlands, and these are just the ones.
Nothing in the
popped up.
US.
I don't think so at the moment.
I mean,
yes, but no legal recognition of it.
right. So that
Yeah.
we're not legally recognizing it. Of course, the
Yeah.
church is not recognizing this. And I see, this is where to me, I want to think about how I phrase this. So work with me here because I want to work through this. If we're talking about AI getting married, if I'm someone who is gay, let's just take that, then I've got to think I fought so hard for the rights to be there, right? For equality and the things that make America beautiful that we have right now. And now we're talking about something that's not even human having the same rights that I fought for. That is like trying to wrap my head around this right now is very difficult for me. And I wonder, and I mean, I'm very interested. I'd love to talk to somebody who is highly involved in civil rights, okay? Whether it be people of color, whether it be gay, whatever it is, sexuality, it doesn't matter, ethnicity, religion, anybody who's been involved in civil rights. And then you look at, is the next civil rights battle going to be for things that are not even human? So if I fought all that time to have the rights that I have as a human being, which is beautiful, but then now we're not far away from a time where I think most people could see where those rights are being fought for by things that aren't even human. Doesn't that cheapen all the work and the sacrifice that other humans had to make to be able to get to where we're at right now and continue to fight for today?
Mhm.
Sure seems like it does to me, man. Doesn't seem right to me. And I don't know. I guess I haven't given it enough thought about why. Like I do know why, because it's not human, and we're fighting for human rights for one another. And then now we're looking at people across the world give those rights to things that are not human when other people around them have fought so desperately hard and sacrificed so much just to have the equality that we seem to be handing over to AI. That to me is very disturbing, to say the least.
Yeah.
Free speech. Okay. Free speech is a great example. Okay. Millions of people over the years have died in wars and battles and you name it for the right to have free speech. And we're one of the few that do. Okay. That I can even get on here and say that. But yet around the world, we're giving the ability to alter speech to AI like that. And no one blinks an eye that the AI is altering your speech or suggesting how you talk. Meanwhile, millions of people have had to die for that right. And yet we're turning over the keys because why? We think that it has our best interest at heart because it's a third party that's not human. I think we need to be very careful there. And what the Pope is saying is losing our humanity to something when humanity is so valuable and what unites all of us. It's much deeper than religion. Humanity actually does unite all of us, regardless of sexual orientation or skin color or what religion you believe in. We should all have a baseline level of respect for humanity. And I think that's what he's warning. We're losing because of our interaction and reliance on AI.
I think the best thing to put it too is like history books from here on out will be written with AI. And it's not humans writing these history books anymore. Very
Yeah.
much.
You know what? You're right. Unless, how about this transition? How about this one? Tell me you thought about this one. That was good if you did.
that's
Nah, that was good. That was good. Okay. Okay. Great transition by Anthony. Folks, I can't believe I'm about to say this. He's talking about the books being written by AI in the future. Okay. You've often heard that, the who wins the war writes the history, right? What's besides GameStop? What style of store would you think there is no way is ever making a comeback? It would be bookstores, everyone. I'm talking about bookstores like Barnes and Noble. But, man, they are making a comeback. That is right. Bookstores are popping up again, and they are thriving. I'm talking about independent bookstores and those like Barnes and Noble that are out there right now. And these things are going really well. Why is it? It comes back down to young people, Anthony. 81% of them say they just want to unplug. And I got to admit, I miss walking into a bookstore. It makes me nostalgic for a bookstore right now. Can I tell you what I like about bookstores, Anthony? The smell.
Oh, I was just thinking that.
It's the smell. It's when you walked into a Barnes and Noble and you smelled like books and coffee mixed together, and everybody was kind of sitting around in one of those comfortable chairs reading a book, and you got a chance to just kind of walk around and feel like, man, I'm in a place where there's like learned people around here. And I pick up a book and sit down and read like 2 pages, and I was already tired of it, but man, did I feel good being in that bookstore. There is something in the air of a bookstore that just, man, it made you feel a little bit different. But I think that now that's the exact feeling that people are going for again. They want to walk into a place where they're almost forced to put down their phone. They're forced to focus their attention on one thing and not on 10 different things that are going on around them, on their phone, their iPad, the book that's over here, the kid that's screaming over here in the corner. They just want to be able to focus on one thing right now. And this is like their chance to walk in and have that nostalgic feeling that I'm talking about, where it's like, okay, just kind of feel like I get an hour here where this feels good. Maybe it makes me feel like I'm in some 90s sitcom for a minute. People are walking up and reading their book and having conversation. What a unique concept for a place. But these are actually making their comeback. If you could verify something for me real quick. I believe that Barnes and Noble is actually they brought on a new CEO, if I'm not mistaken, and they are actually decorating, like they've given their individual stores the right to decorate according to the area or region that they're in. So like when we were up, I don't know, like it had to be, we were in Cape Cod for a job with Kazalt Roofing, and you can actually like theme your store for your area. That was one of the things she wanted to do. She wanted to bring back a unique feel of the Barnes and Nobles wherever you were.
Yeah.
Is that what we're reading?
Yeah, just saying basically moving away from like the old corporate style to like just new different layouts and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what happened is that what they said is, hey, listen, we don't want to have the same layout at every store. So if you have a store in, I don't know, let's say in the Bahamas, wherever, then you could theme out that store to look like a very unique store to the Bahamas rather than one in Cape Cod or one that was in rural Tennessee, if we would look at it that way. You can make the store look like the place that you were in so that people felt like it wasn't a corporate chain, but rather their local bookstore where they're at. And these are popping up all over the place because people are realizing that if we give away some decent coffee, right? We have a barista back there. Then what we can do is we can give a place where people can disconnect and they can feel like they actually have a place where they can sit down in this world and be able to focus on just one thing. And people are searching for that connection. If it's not with another person, then heck, they're looking for it with themselves. And these stores, bookstores of all things, are making the comeback because people are saying, I want a place to disconnect. And I never thought that I'd see him ever make a comeback. Just like I don't think malls are ever making a comeback. But these actually are doing exactly that. So it's a very, very cool thing to see because I have a certain nostalgia when I think of a Borders or a Barnes and Noble. And I think the world's a better place with more of these on the corners than Dollar General stores. Let's get more Barnes and Nobles into cities. It's not surely going to hurt.
Yeah, I love this. And honestly, I was worried for Barnes and Noble for a while. So
Me too.
This is amazing. And yeah, it's something about it going into Barnes and Noble. Like you just hear all this noise going in, like with the road, your phone, all this stuff. But once you go in, just quiet, peaceful, just nice. And that coffee, the smell.
Yeah, it feels good, don't it?
Feels good.
I'm going to tell you a story that doesn't feel good. It's our last one that I have to cover here today, Anthony. I was sent a video anonymously, and unfortunately, I've got to cover this. This is hard because we have an audience that is got a lot of Orlando and Central Florida residents, and the video that I was sent here shows the absolute and complete hypocrisy of the Orlando Police Department. Chief Eric Smith, this is my message to you and to Buddy Dyer. While the policies that this city has put in place continue to force small businesses out of our downtown, what you see going on right now, this represents the Orlando Police Department. The hypocrisy of saying that the streets are safe or that businesses are the problem for streets not being safe, while what we see here shows as an example of the kind of behavior that we understand is acceptable by the Orlando Police Department, is the reason that Orlando residents continue to lose their faith and trust in the leadership of this city. If you're a small business and you've lost your business because you know what? The city continues to pound you with fees. You can't get support from officers when your business is trying to run maybe a nightlife or a bar. And then you see this right here, where you see the kind of behavior that I guess Orlando Police Department finds to be acceptable. And if you look at it closely right now, what's going on around these individuals? While they're getting lap dances on the job and paint thrown on them, who knows what's going on with the public that they're supposed to be protecting? And now Eric Smith, he rolls up to our good friend Buddy Dyer over there, who I think everyone can agree the city has gotten nothing that's improved since he's been here for his 20 plus years. And I would ask Eric Smith this: is this acceptable to you? What are the consequences? Where is the accountability? While businesses are failing right now, they're losing their livelihood all over downtown Orlando. You see behavior like this from the people that are supposed to be helping those exact businesses that have been flooding out of the city. And if they're doing this right here, if they think that this is acceptable, then what do you think is going on in downtown Orlando? What do we think is going on a Friday or Saturday night in downtown Orlando? And maybe, just maybe, the city should take a look and go, maybe it's not the small business that's screwing up. Maybe we have employees that are not being held accountable by the people at the top. And maybe we should begin to look at new leadership who will hold people accountable. Now, I'll be very clear. I don't know what's happened with these individuals. I'm hoping I get corrected and that somebody jumps on and says they've been suspended from the force. Good. Because somebody has to step up and hold people accountable to what happens. I got no issue calling somebody out. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake and I own it. These people are served to protect the community, or are there to protect the community. They're not doing that. What they're doing is just getting lap dances. Get off of work, go to a club, and get your dances over there. Because what you're supposed to be doing is looking out for the public. And I'm sure that venue here in Orlando last weekend had to pay for off-duty officers in order to be there. And if they did, great, man. I'd be asking for a refund because that was the level of professionalism that you were receiving. And Eric Smith, Chief Eric Smith, under Buddy Dyer, this is your opportunity to say what is acceptable and what is not acceptable to you. What kind of professionalism do you demand on your force? Do you hold the men and women of your force accountable? And I have to think right now, Anthony, that OPD is a large force. I want to say probably 1,000 individuals, officers, everybody, administration, you name it, everywhere across the board. Okay. I'm going to take a guess there. If not, Orange County probably with them too. And there's a difference between both. But here's what I want to say. Let's just say it's half that. It doesn't matter to me. The majority of those people are great people at what they do. And I have to believe this, that when they see this video, they want those people held accountable. It's a matter of, does the leadership at the top have the guts to do anything about it? Or are they going to stand by and go, oh, well, I'll just turn a blind eye to this. I don't really want any bad press. So, that's that. What are you going to do? And unless it's suspension pending termination, you ain't done enough. You got to hold people accountable. This is not a small thing. This is a minute long. You think this is all that happened that day? You think this is where it stopped? No, it didn't stop here. It kept going, Anthony. Of course it did. Now, do I have proof of that? No, I just had the video that was sent to us. And so I hope that this message gets across to OPD and that somebody says, whoa, man, who are these guys? And this isn't acceptable. And I don't want to be a part of a force where this is acceptable. And you know what? If we are going to be the ones who are sworn to protect this city, and if Buddy Dyer's policies are supposed to be implemented to, I don't know, whatever his policies are meant to do, we're supposed to be out there helping small businesses. And this is the kind of reputation that we got right here. You ain't doing much. Tell you, your reputation is just going down the tubes. Because what people see is different than what you're telling people. You're telling people we're here to protect you. You're telling people we're doing our job. You're telling small businesses, you know what? We're out here trying to clean up the streets. Well, if this is your idea of trying to clean things up right here, it's no wonder that small businesses are flocking out of Orlando, closing their doors, and nobody is coming in to replace them because this is the type of support that they can receive. Accountability matters. And so I want to know, what has your Orlando Police Department done about this? Since nobody else has the guts to say anything, no one else wants to question what's going on. Here I am in the public saying, who's held accountable here? And I hope that drop me a comment if I'm wrong. Drop me a comment to an article where these people have been suspended. If you can, please, I'm going to be happy, and I'll be the first one to jump on, give old Eric Smith here, I'll give him a pat on the back. I will say, hey, listen, man, my bad, and I'll publicly put out a story about it and say I'm sorry. But right now, accountability matters, and I don't see much. And meanwhile, we get thousands right now, thousands of comments and messages from business owners, residents in Orlando, people that have visited here that no longer want to come back to the city because they feel like it's unsafe. No wonder. This is the kind of stuff that we got protecting us. This is where their priorities are right now, Anthony. The priorities seem to be more on, let me just get a few dances while I'm here. Let me use the uniform here. And if that's where your priorities are, hey man, more power to you. But don't say you're going to serve the public. Don't say you're enforcing the laws to make it easier on small business to succeed. And then go out there and make this a representation of what your department is. Because there's a lot more good people over in the Orlando Police Department, and individuals like this should be held accountable. And I bet the good people over there want this chief to do exactly that. Buddy Dyer ain't gonna do nothing. So I'm hoping that this Chief Eric Smith does have a backbone and that does want to do something, because I know Buddy Dyer above him is just, he's on his way out. He's a lame duck anyway. He's not going to do anything about anything. But if there's enough people that can get on here and say, this is unacceptable to us too, because our downtown continues to erode beneath us right now, then maybe we can start to have some people held accountable around here, Anthony. That's my 2 cents. Anything about this one?
No, I think you nailed it. Honestly, it's just they need to do better. Honestly, this is just unacceptable. And
this goes down to, man, I ain't afraid to put my face to this stuff because it's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sick of getting these messages from people all over Orlando, all over, man. Like the last month, thousands, right? And we're probably looking at millions of views from the Orlando area on our stuff. And every one of them are the same. I mean, there's some outliers, some jokester stuff. But yeah, man, city's falling apart. City was different 20 years ago. Yeah, city used to be different. I got people who message me anonymously from Orange County Police, from OPD, saying retired, non-retired people. Man, when I was there, we wouldn't have put up with this crap. When I was there, we would have done things differently. When I was there, we would have had this program and this program that they've gone away with. When I was there, it wasn't about the DEI, this and that. It was about just serving the people. Gone. Okay. And for me, man, I look at this and I think all these people are not wrong, Anthony. And then I get this sent to me anonymously. And I think to myself, okay. You're telling me over here, city of Orlando, that bar owners are the problem, that clubs are the problem, that irresponsible business owners are the problem. Are they? Or is maybe a lack of accountability within our own city the problem? Maybe the people that are sworn to protect the city are too focused on getting lap dances over here to actually do something like do their job. And nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to get on the news and say it because they don't want to be the person that upsets anybody. Nobody wants to get in the newspapers and say it because they don't want to upset anybody. But yet everybody looks at that and goes, man, this is it? This is what we're supposed to do? What do you think Grady Judd would think if he saw that? Think if it was Polk County, man. Grady Judd, those people would be, he'd have a picture of the officer showing that they were suspended. That's what he would do. That's why people love Grady Judd in Polk County. That's why people are leaving Orange County and Orlando and flooding into Lakeland and Polk County right now, because there's actually accountability over there. Not here, I guess. But I'll end by saying this. If I'm wrong and we missed it, perfect one. I'll jump on the show tomorrow with you, Anthony, and I will start and we'll cut it into a clip and I'll say, I was wrong about this story. If there's been accountability already put out there. But if it's not public, I'm not apologizing.
No.
Don't, because if it's not, you swept it under the rug. That's what you tried to do. I don't like that. I want to hear that OPD has come out with a public apology in the officers' names, has put them on the list and said, hey, listen, these people don't represent who we are. I don't want to find out that somewhere in some internal memo, these guys got a 1-day suspension somewhere and it wasn't covered by anybody. No. I'll apologize if there's been a public apology from Eric Smith or Buddy Dyer or somebody within the department saying this doesn't represent who they are. That's my apology, because that's what the people of Orlando deserve, that these people are supposed to be protecting. Let's hope I'm wrong. I hope we find the information out there. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. If not, you know me. Once I sink my teeth into a story, probably not going to let it go, everybody. So we'll see what happens with that one. Overall, though, a lot of great stuff that we went in today. Matchmakers are taking over for the dating apps. We went over why brands are collapsing and why most companies are unaware of why that collapse is going on. The Pope one, extremely interesting as he talks about AI in his first letter. Bookstores are making a comeback, and the hypocrisy of your Orlando Police Department. We appreciate everybody joining us here on the Patrick Carr Show. We love bringing you a show every single day. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe so you can catch our show every day. Have a lot of fun. Get all the news. We'll have back tomorrow for our Friday show going into the weekend. Have a great Thursday, everybody. See you next time. There we go. And this one.